It's just missing something. I don't know what it is.
Yes, now that's more like it. Imagine, you're famed Japanese video game company Treasure, and you've just finished some all-time classics like Gunstar Heroes and Radiant Silvergun. But it's the 2000s now, and it's time to jump into the world of 3D. So many ideas swirl through your mind as you imagine the possibilities of the power of the PlayStation 2. Should you go back to your roots and bring Gunstar Heroes into the modern age? Make a new bullet hell game with the kind of graphics you could have only dreamed of before? Or maybe even stretch the crowded stuff, big bazonga ladies, fucking aliens! Perfect, that's exactly why we keep that guy around. Because it's time to get weird on this channel again. Real weird. As we take a look into Treasure's Twisted Mind's most powerful creation.
Stretch Panic!
This is the unusual story of an unusual little girl. And this cutscene is somehow supposed to convey that and the story of the game to you, but I promise you it does not tell you anything. What is even supposed to be going on here? It moves at breakneck speed, zooming around like a dog on cocaine, and doesn't have any dialogue of any kind. And now we're in hell. Okay then, let's just go into a level, shall we? This door says 1 on it, so it must be level 1, right? Oh, it won't open. Okay. You sure can stretch it though, and anything else that you grab, just like the name of the game says you can. Unless you live anywhere other than North America, because in Europe it was called Freak Out, and in the original Japanese it's Hipa Linda, meaning Pull Linda, because this little girl has been cursed with the name of a 60-year-old woman that carries around a shitty little dog and calls the HOA when your lawn is only 1.4 inches too tall. Anyway, this one says EX, so let's give it a try. Okay, so it turns out you actually have to go into one of the EX doors for...
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
What?
So then what happens if... Oh yes, exactly as we all predicted. And I gained 1 point. So I guess I go around and explode all these Kim Kardashians? Some of them are even worth multiple points. Wait a minute. What's that sound? I swear to you that this game was rated T for teen. Well, now that I have 13 points, let's try to open another door. Ah, so the 1 actually tells you how many points are required to enter the level. And then the dancing fairies do circles around this girl and bam! A Pokemon! Stretch Panic is actually a boss rush style game. Each door has either a boss fight in it, or an EX stage where the giant-breasted ladies roam around and you snap at anything but their bazongas to gain the points you need to enter the boss stages and attempt them. Within the boss fight, both Linda and the boss's health is represented by a star that fills up, because nothing can be straightforward in this game. Not understanding how to properly fight this first boss, I ended up dying and just get dumped back out into the hub world without getting my point back, so I have to spend 1 more to try it again, and die again. Okay, I give up. Time to break out something that games used to come with and don't anymore. The manual. Which it turns out is 100% required not only to be able to play this game, but to understand any part of it. In the manual, you can find an explanation for the story. We are playing as Linda, who is trying to save all of her 13 vain sisters, who have all been turned into monsters by the demons of vanity into something based on their obsessions. This sister was named Spinner and was, obsessed with running around in circles until she got dizzy. Okay, sure. So that means she was transformed into this unsteady top thing. Each of the sisters' backstory is in here, as well as some other tidbits like how the stage select area is called the Museum of Agony. The big boobly mooblies are called Bonita Zako and are women who wish for their hooblies to be bigger. and the Vanity Demons obliged by making them so big that they couldn't possibly walk around anymore, and also that you can exchange 5 points by pressing in both sticks to do Linda's ultimate technique, the Scarf Bomb. Oh, and it is required that you do that at least once to each boss in order to exorcise the demon from the sister, otherwise you don't actually beat the stage. Shit. Luckily, if you do end a stage this way, the point cost is removed from the room so you can retry it for free. Just have to make sure you have at least 5 points available to do the Scarf Bomb. I didn't know I hadn't really beat Spinner yet, so I went in to face Cinder, who likes to play with fire, and unleash Linda's technique. You really just beat the shit out of them. I'm not really sure what part of this is the bomb. If you're successful, you can do a ton of damage, and this little demon circles around you for the rest of the boss fight. And Cinder is saved. Her dancing shakes the screen and makes the controller vibrate with each tremor, by the way. With that, we can check this bell called the Gallery of Shame, where you can view all the demon versions of the sisters you've saved and, do that, I guess. This is the entire game. You need more and more points as you go to unlock the stages, but the general gameplay is exactly the same. Get a Scarf Bomb in at some point during the fight, usually right at the start of it, which will do a huge chunk of damage, and then use the rest of the fight to figure out how to actually do damage to it, like plucking out all of Siren's little friends before she can sing her song, which makes her chomp herself for some reason. Then when you run out of points, you can pick any of the EX worlds to go into, and pluck some big booby backsides to replenish your stock. There are no other objectives. This whole game took me only about 2 hours to complete. The biggest challenge, aside from figuring out a couple of these bosses' weak points, is learning how to read, since that's required to get anywhere. I can imagine a few kids getting this game, and after their parents stopped bleaching their eyeballs from seeing the Bonitas for the first time, they cried because they managed to beat all the bosses but couldn't progress because they didn't know about the Scarf Bomb requirement. This thing never tells you anything in-game. Not the Scarf Bomb, not what any of the UI is, not the story, not even what the points mean. So why would it bother to tell you that there's a requirement to actually finish a stage? Some of the highlights for the other boss fights include this Mario Galaxy-like level versus Android, where I learned that unless both grabby hands that come out of Linda when you use the Scarf Bomb touch the boss, it doesn't count. The horror-themed Demonica, where you chase a demon behind a bunch of doors, and it even has a special failure cutscene. And the final boss, Spirit, who as far as I can tell doesn't have any weak points other than her hands, and you just have to lightly pluck at her little grabby mitts until you win. Once all the sisters are saved, you can go out the door of the museum to view the credits, and that's it! Stretch Panic is a really weird game. Treasure was known for making some weird shit, but this one really takes the cake, and puts it right into all those ladies' chests. These are the people that made Wario World and Mischief Makers. They knew their way around doing some weird stuff in 2D, but when they got their chance at 3D, they didn't disappoint. There isn't a whole lot of information I could find in English about this game or why exactly they decided to go with a stretching mechanic, explain almost nothing, and have the primary enemy be busty women that use their giant orbs as helicopter blades, but I can only imagine there were some drugs involved. And thank you for that, Japan, because where would we be as a society without Stretch Panic in our lives? Nowhere. That's all I have for this one, though. I was sick for most of the past week, so I had to keep this video short. But if you liked it, please consider liking or subscribing to help the channel grow, and look forward to more videos like this one. I'll see you next time.